All right. I want to first start out by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua, Barakatah Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. All right. All honor, praises, and glory is due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua. Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And peace, love, salutations, and blessings to the Lord's elect. This is the brother Yeshaya, part of Men of Valor, South Carolina. Back at you with another lesson, and this lesson is about the BRICS nations. Now, as you may or may not know, there is a BRICS group, which is BRICS is an acronym for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Now, they banded together, okay, to ditch the world currency known as the U.S. dollar, okay, which is circling the drain, which is done. All right, they're wising up. Okay, the U.S. does not have a stronghold anymore on the oil, on the money. All right, so it's inevitable that World War III is going to happen. Okay, it's inevitable. It's too much division, and it's too much bucking up on against America. Okay, Jeremiah the 50th chapter, I believe, 50 or 51. Oh, how the hammer of the earth has suddenly been broken. And the America was once known as the hammer of the earth because of its military presence in every country and its overall dominance. But that's not true anymore. Okay, with these nations, let the weak say I am strong, like the scriptures also say. So, and I found this interesting. This came out yesterday that Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and which is UAE, and Iran, among 6 countries invited to join BRICS group. Now, Iran stood out to me because this is biblical prophecy as pursuant to Ezekiel the 38th chapter. Okay, Persia or Iran, because Iran was formerly known as Persia, but you still have some of the Iranians calling themselves that today. So we know that's Persia. Okay, Saudi Arabia and the Arab Emirates. They've come together to ditch the dollar, man. Now, this is an act of war within itself, okay? These lesser nations are coming under the banner of Russia, okay? Because Russia is the biggest nation with the most firepower, the strongest weaponry, so to say. Okay, and this is all biblical prophecy, and it's so beautiful. So I'm gonna read a little bit of this article, and I'm gonna bring out the scriptures. This is from CNN. Oil powered Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates have been invited to become members of the BRICS group of developing nations in its first expansion in over a decade. Also invited are Iran, Egypt, Ethiopia, and Argentina. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa said Thursday as he wrapped up the annual summit of the group in Johannesburg. Saudi Foreign Minister Prince Faisal bin Farhan said the kingdom was awaiting details from the BRICS group on the nature of the membership and would take an appropriate decision accordingly. All 6 countries invited have already expressed an interest in joining. The BRICS group currently includes Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. So, hey, I bet that waiting line in the applications is flying through the roof, man. Because, hey, this is all biblical prophecy. This is all biblical prophecy. Okay, these nations coming up and banding together under, the veil of Russia. Okay, and to come against America. Okay, and pretty soon, man, every single nation is going to be against America, including her mother, all right, which is Great Britain. Okay, it says her mother shall be sore confounded. That's talk about should be ashamed, all right, and sore confounded. So, man, this is a beautiful thing, and this is this is prophecy ramping up, man. In a video, the membership will take effect from the 1st of January 2024, Ramaphosa said. In a video message, Russian President Vladimir Putin congratulated the new BRICS members, adding that the bloc's global influence will continue to grow. I would like to congratulate the new members who will work in full-scale format next year. Wow, they're putting this thing into motion. Putin said, and I would like to ensure all our colleagues that we will continue to work that we started today on expanding the influence of BRICS in the world, the Russian president added. So, hey, man, the EU, they're shaking in their boots. The NATO and the EU, they have a formidable opposition against them, man, these BRICS nations. Okay, China's President Xi Jinping called the bloc's expansion historic, reflecting its determination to unite and cooperate with developing countries. That's right. Let the weak say I am strong, right? It will inject new impetus into the BRICS cooperation mechanism and further strengthen the power of world peace and development, Jinping said. There would never be no world peace until the Israelites reign. All right, but, you know, that's just a key word for taking America and the NATO and EU nations out of the power seat. Okay, so yeah, man, this is a beautiful thing, man. This article is pretty informative for the lack. Well, I mean, we got time, but you know, I'm not gonna read this whole article. I read enough. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna go into the scriptures because right here, what raised my eyebrows was, there he goes, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, or the UAE, and Iran. Okay, among 6 countries invited to the BRICS group. Now, this is biblical prophecy because, like I said, Persia, all right, Iran was formerly known as Persia. Okay, so this is biblical prophecy of them coming together with Russia. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him. Meshech and Tubal being sons of Japhet, that whole landmass, you know, known as Russia. Okay, Gog and the land of Magog also is talking about that landmass that Russia occupies. No man's land, it once was called, but you know, that's what it's talking about. And say, well, further up is no man's land, but that whole area, that area, and it's close by it, all right, that's known as the land of Gog and Magog, or aka Russia, all right. And say, thus saith the Lord, power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth and arm thine army, and horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, and all of them handling swords. Okay, now, as you know, the Russia is known as the bear in the scriptures. Okay, the last part had the feet of the bear, which represent the end coming by Russia, okay, for the most part, because they're going to have the most artillery, they're going to have the most powerful weapons, and they're going to have the larger hand in destroying Babylon the Great, aka America, okay, and they're the spearhead of this BRICS nations, all right. Persia, there you go, Iran, okay, Ethiopia and Libya, African country with them, all of them with shield and helmet, okay, so this is allegorical. This is parabolic, okay, because it's talking about war. Okay, it's mentioning war utensils, all right, regalia, you know, armor, bucklers, shields, and stuff like that. Okay, so you can link that up and put it and piece it together. You know, context clues. Okay. And this is talking about war, all right, and the countries that it's naming, Iran, all right, and the other East African countries, Libya, okay, Gomer and all his bands, okay, in the house of Togarmah of the north quarters and all his bands and many people with them, and that's talking about Turkey and that area over there, man, okay, in Saudi Arabia, okay, but Gomer's Turkey. All right. Be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. So Russia, okay, is the head of this BRICS alliance, even though it's BRICS. All right. That was just for, you know, that was just a cosmetic. All right. It should really be RCI SB or BS. All right, but BRICS sounds better, you know, off the tongue. You know, it's aesthetically more appeasing than the actual order of the countries, from largest to smallest and most power. All right, because Russia would be one first, then China. All right, then I would say India, and then South Africa, and then Brazil. Or you can interchange South Africa and India. But yeah, okay. So there it is. All right, and hey, it's prophetic that all of these nations are gonna come against, America, Babylon the Great. But what I'm bringing up Obadiah for is to basically, the point is that Edom, they run all of this. They are the head of America. They're the head of Great Britain. They're the head of the EU and the NATO nations. Okay, so when it talks about Edom, it's talking about them high level elitists, those the Rothschilds, the Luciferians, all right, that run, and the bankers that are in control. All right, I'm gonna start at 1, and then I'm gonna skip down to the point. The vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord Yahweh concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord Yahweh, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small against the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. The pride of thine heart have deceived thee. Thou that dwelleth in the clefts of the rocks, which habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest amongst the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. So the Lord's going to bring this madman down. Okay, and he's doing it right now. All right, but this ultimately is a precursor or a foreshadowing of the thermonuclear missile annihilation. Okay, of this man's power structure and his, the land that he operates out of. All right, and the land that, well, I wouldn't say no more, but that's currently, ruling the whole earth. Okay, America, aka Babylon the Great. Now here's the point. All men of verse 7, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in them. So, you can, that can apply that confederacy, okay, can apply to, those nations, okay, that's going to destroy, that's going to come together, okay, to destroy, their power structure, Esau, Edom, and their baby, Babylon the Great. So let's go to the book of Jeremiah 50, okay? The word that the Lord spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans, all right, and which is talking about the same place, the landmass known as North America, all right? By Jeremiah the prophet, declare ye among the nations and publish, set up a standard, publish and conceal not. Say Babylon is taken, Bel is confounded, Merodach is broken in pieces, her idols are confounded, her images are broken in pieces. For out of the north there come up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove, they shall depart, both man and beast. And that's ultimately talking about Russia. Like I said, Russia is the leader, the spearhead of this BRICS nations, and they're in the northern part, okay, of what would that be? Asia Minor. I don't know, but yeah, one of those. Okay, the East. Okay, the Eastern world. Let's see. Yeah, verse 7, all that found them have devoured them, and their adversaries said, we offend not because they have sinned against the Lord, the habitation of justice, even the Lord. This is talking about, Israelites, hope of their fathers. Remove out of the midst of Babylon, and go forth out of the land of Chaldeans, and be as the goats before the flocks. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country. Okay, so over there, those nations, all right, that's BRICS nations, and there's going to be more BRICS nations added. There's going to be more nations added to BRICS. That's just the first ones that they chose to center it around, but best believe all of these countries are sending their applications in. All right, from this she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. And Chaldea, okay, aka America, Babylon the Great, just as I read at the beginning of this scripture, Okay. And Chaldea shall be a spoil, and all that spoil her shall be satisfied, saith the Lord. So they're going to be satisfied, okay, when America, Babylon the Great, is destroyed, man. Okay. Because you were glad, because you rejoice, O you destroyers of mine heritage, because you are grown fat as the heifer at grass and bellow as bulls. Your mother, like I, explained earlier, your mother shall be sore confounded. All right, Great Britain. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be as a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. So this is the ultimate result, or the ultimate end of Babylon the Great, being an ultimate perpetual wilderness and a desert. All right, okay, a cage of every hateful bird, unclean animal, desert creatures, doleful creatures, so on and so forth. Verse 13, because of the wrath of the Lord Yahweh, it shall be not inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss of her plagues. Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about. All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her. Spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against the Lord. So, the Lord is gathering these nations together, man, to, ultimately destroy America. All right. Joel 3. And this ultimately is gonna because not only Babylon the Great, there's two focal points of this war. Okay, the majority or the bulk of the destruction is gonna happen over here in Babylon the Great, but also over there in the Middle East. All right, the Mediterranean Sea, the Valley of Yehoshaphat. Okay. That's where it's going to go down as well, because our Holy Land has to be cleansed. But also those nations that I just named, they're clustered over there. Russia, Turkey, Persia or Iran, Saudi Arabia, Libya, Ethiopia, they're all over there. So that's a major land as well, all right, for the destruction. Okay. Joel 3:1, for behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Yehoshaphat, and Jehoshaphat or Yehoshaphat, the Lord's judgment, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. And they have cast my lots for my people, and have given a boy for a harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they may drink. Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coasts of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head. Okay, here it is, verse 9. Proclaim ye this against amongst the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. And that's what these lesser nations are doing. They're claiming that they have a fight in this battle now. They're no longer cowering and, letting America and the NATO and EU run this thing. Now they're coming up and bucking up against the big bad wolf. Okay, BRICS, EU. BRICS, NATO, EU. Okay, and this is how it's gonna go down. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves round about thither, cause cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. So there we go, man. Hey, this thing is popping off, man. And this is I'm gonna end it with this, because this is the end result of Babylon the Great, man. All right. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 17 and verse 16. And the 10 horns, okay, NATO and EU, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, okay, they shall hate the whore. These shall hate the whore, okay. The NATO and EU represents the 10 horns, the beast, and then the whore is Babylon the Great. So that's what they're doing, and this hate has been going on for centuries, man. Thus these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. So these BRICS nations are not playing. There's going to be more added to it. This is a biblical prophecy. It's beautiful. Okay, it's a beautiful thing, man. All right, to be in the know The water Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. And it's an exciting time to be alive in this truth, to be quickened, to be made alive, because not everyone that's walking the earth and that's standing on 2 feet or that's breathing air is alive. So, Lord willing, that was edifying. I'm going to end it with that, giving all honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rahahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings to the Lord's elect. Shalom.